In an attempt to make art, one must simply do it. It's not easy, it's not hard. Art is simply one way, and it's not another. The process of making anything isn't luxurious, it's exactly that, a process. And we have this idea that the moments of clarity and discovery of genius are some profound revelations that emerge from nowhere. That's just not true. I've had countless projects that I was too cautious to finish. Things that were made that I've never done anything with. Constantly fearing that they need to come at the right time. Perfecting things that I've maybe overthought. And sometimes I feel bad about this, but that's also part of the process. There's no perfect art, just like there's no perfect life. But the journey, the making, the moving forward on a path with no destination is its greatness. Many artists will brand themselves as geniuses, talk about their process as though it's so beyond the realm of a normal thinking brain, but it's not. That's just marketing. That's just an insecurity from someone scared that they might not be as relevant as they want to be. The making of art is the same as the making of anything. You just do it. And you come to realize that what you make is more important than you. Exposure to great art and exposure to that within yourself will feed one another, and you'll be found in that endless cycle of discovery. There was a time when I watched Taxi Driver every night at midnight. Sat in the twilight of my bedroom, I didn't know loneliness until it was given a face. Reddened eyes scattered around the urban decay made me feel a bit more whole. And then I remembered, they were the same eyes in Cries and Whispers, the eyes of a person longing for true happiness, only to find it in a moment of childhood communion. These were my eyes, they were your eyes. I was 10 years old when I watched Goodfellas with my dad on TV. It's not the most glamorous of stories, and I didn't know that I was witnessing a form of beauty then. But that was the moment I became enthralled by cinema. I didn't know it consciously, but I was being exposed to a new kind of beauty that even my childhood mind could grasp onto. I saw how Henry was telling me his story, how the film was becoming more frenetic as things grew more intense. This was the first time that I realized that a film could actually talk to you. If I hadn't watched that, perhaps I may not have realized how art speaks to you in all its forms. And then on it went, through my whole life. A notebook from my teenage years analysing the downward spiral. One day in school we had to perform a scene from a film. People picked their favourites. My friends and I did a word-for-word reenactment of the opening scene of Pulp Fiction. I was 14, I played Jules. I don't think we'd be allowed to do that today. But in my engagement with art, I discovered the utter joy of discovery. And it was just a childlike excitement of finding amazing things. And I still feel it. You would listen to music that no one else knew about. You did things because they were actually cool, even if nobody thought otherwise. And your passion was your obsession. And so you want to tell the whole world about your passion. You do the opposite of gatekeeping because you want the whole world to feel the way that you felt about that book you read or that song you heard. I'd show up with my friends, and before you know it, we're all quoting our favourite films together every day. And every day it's a brand new thing you learn about. You learn about 2001: A Space Odyssey and try to figure out what it all means. Kubrick becomes this insane master that you discover. And then you read A Clockwork Orange and you learn about Frank Miller's Batman and Basquiat. Simply by being alongside this stuff, I found new wells of knowledge that made me feel as though I was a different person than before I knew it. And this is the joy of discovery. That passion and obsession and mastery led to something always being right around the corner. And nowhere are these attributes more spectacular than in the world of art, martial arts, the culinary arts, any art that requires the human spirit to excel. Your life becomes orchestrated to that music that you hold dear because it's more than that. I was supposed to get a job in an office first and then find a way to make art on the side. but I didn't want to. Art had to be in some way my job first and foremost. And if you feel the same way as I do, then it should be yours too. This is what you prioritize, and you make this work however you can. You make films where you're the actor, director, editor, and camera operator. That's how I started, and if that's the only way it can be, then so be it. There's too much fatalism in the world now, especially when the recipe for our cure is within our own hands. I know that immediately following this, there will be those that want to decry the idea of creating great art because art will not help people who struggle in a political regime where they can't pay their bills. Okay, but then what? What is this life that we have? What's the alternative? I don't want to live in a world devoid of hope where creation goes unnoticed. What if there's a heat death of the universe and nothing will last? So should I stop? And fuck it. If all that matters is how I live my material life, then why not be a corporate type so I can rise up the ladder by any means necessary and pay my shit bills for a life that stripped away all of my humanity? Art and creation can serve as the antidote to all of this because we are constantly in comparison with our best attributes, not our worst. That we can transcend our suffering, that we become beings whose capacity outweighs the materiality of the universe. Art has shaped all of our lives, and as repayment to it, we should aim to replicate ourselves in its image, not focus on our most superficial aspects. All the time, people are telling us that to be an artist, you either sell out or you die. No, this isn't true. Take it from me. I will never sell out. I will find a way to put out into the world something, anything of value, and find people like the people that have made it this far in this video that will replicate that. Because life is more than this. This is the 21st century, and you've been told to grind and buy this and become popular and get relevant. Listen, that's not what life is about. It's not about the fucking internet. It's not about your relatability. It's not about the worldly things you own. It's not about fucking thumbnails, and it's not about senior management at a sales company. It's about the life you live. It's about the soul you have, the people you love, the things that mean something, and they're all around us. There will always be room for us to create something powerful, and if everything I said falls on deaf ears, then there'll always be space for you to create something powerful. And then the message of humanity that you imbued within that work will remain for all eternity. And the next generation will have their opportunity to bring humanity back to its apex. We will always keep on searching for greatness and sending the same message.